Hello and welcome to the Joe Ligato Show. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Ligato, and today we're going to be talking about the Israeli propaganda war against all that is true, right, and just in the world. And just the ridiculous amount of propaganda being spewed by Israel right now is mind-boggling, because Israel has always controlled the media and entertainment apparatus of the Western world. And so they're not used to having to discuss and have their ideas critiqued and their propaganda critiqued, because they are used to having complete control of what is called the Overton window, which is the ideas that are allowed to be expressed in polite company. And now that there is a decentralization of media and entertainment, and more people can freely provide their ideas and freely critique Zionist propaganda, they are losing very badly to the anti-Zionist coalition. And so we can look at a few of these examples of their propaganda and how ridiculously bad it is. So we have a tweet from Fadi Quran here. How can anyone continue to trust statements from the Israeli army? And something to mention here is Western media is completely trusting of the Israeli military, of the Israeli government. I've seen CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. They just completely say exactly what the Israeli government says, even if it makes zero sense, even if it's been debunked already. And remember, this is MSNBC and Fox News. These are supposed to be the two separate sides of the American political discourse, and they're completely agreeing when it comes to Israel, because there is certain foreign policy objectives that the oligarchs that control America have that makes it so even if you're allowed to dispute about little things, the breadcrumbs when it comes to politics, you're not allowed to dispute them on the major things, such as their Zionist loyalty to Israel. And so whether you're watching leftist news, such as MSNBC, or right-wing news, such as Fox News, you're getting the same propaganda when it comes to Israel, because the oligarchs, they tell you you're only allowed to have this one perspective when it comes to Israel. There's a few other things you can have an open perspective on. You can be pro-life, pro-choice. You could talk about free education, not free education, free healthcare, not free healthcare, et cetera, et cetera. You can talk about any of those topics, but when it comes to things like Israel, you have to have the party line, whether you're right-wing or left-wing. So let's see some of the ridiculous statements coming out of Israel right now. Israel said they found a paper with Hamas terrorist names in a hospital. The paper had days of the week written on it in Arabic, Monday, Tuesday, etc. These were official Israeli government accounts, official Israeli journalists that were posting this. Like, they didn't use Google Translate before posting this. They found a calendar. They supposedly found a calendar. And their first thought was, this Arabic writing on it must be the names of the guards of the hostages that they are going to hunt down. They didn't use Google Translate to see that it was literally just days of the week. The degree of schizophrenia and neuroticism necessary for this type of thing to be posted, and for them to call it anti-Semitic if you don't believe them, it's mind-blowing. I've had a lot of conversations with Christian Zionists or former Christian Zionists since this conflict started on October 7th, and quite a few of them have been persuaded that they've been indoctrinated, that this modern Israel is not the Israel that they thought it was. It's not the Israel of the Bible. But some of them actually still believe Israel to a decent extent. I mean, even if they're lying nonstop to your face, they still seem to believe that. I guess it's because the propaganda apparatus has taken a hold of their mind for the entirety of their lives. But like, this level of propaganda, where is this? Right there, right there. All right, I don't know how to do this. It's backwards. Yeah, this level of propaganda is ridiculous. Wait, oh no, I'm only a small box here. I can't point directly to it. But to put on social media for the entire world to see this Arabic calendar with the names of the days of the week in Arabic and say these are the names of terrorists. I know they have the best propaganda apparatus of the world, or they at least have like the largest. And it's just mind-boggling that they've allowed the quality of their propaganda to decline this much because they're just so used to having complete control of the narrative. They're not used to having to defend themselves. Anyways, I spent a long time on that one point, but it was a good point, I think. Okay, so next one. They said they're sending incubators to hospitals, knowing full well the issue is not lack of incubators. It's the Army's prevention of fuel to run them in the whole hospital. Okay, so a few things here already. It's been confirmed within a few hours of me making this video that all of the children in the incubators or former incubators, all the children have died at this point. Multiple dozens, over 3 dozen have died. And so all of them. On top of that, Hamas offered to exchange prisoners, hostages, for fuel to keep these incubators running. And so these babies did not have to die. It's shocking. So remember why they took hostages to begin with, because I know anyone critiquing this video will be like, well, they had the hostages. They shouldn't have them because they're evil terrorists. Well, they took the hostages because they were trying to make it back to Gaza after conducting their attack. And under international law, they are allowed to attack their occupiers. That's legal. They just took the hostages so they could make it back, and because they thought the Israeli military would not fire on their own hostages. Turns out they were completely wrong. The Israeli military wildfired on hostages, on the Hamas freedom fighters. They shot at random Israelis that were on the street that they couldn't identify. I mean, it seems like nearly all of these civilian casualties, well, it seems like, as far as we can tell, literally all of these civilian casualties on October 7th were either from crossfire or literally just Israeli, like they were so freaked out about the attack that they seemed to attack literally every living thing that wasn't directly in Israeli military uniform, which happened to be a lot of civilians. So yeah, so what Hamas did, they thought that the Israeli military would be humane, so they took some hostages so that they can make it back to Gaza and not be shot. And they didn't realize that the Israeli military is just so bloodthirsty that they would have shot their own people, which they apparently did from all indications. So that's where we're at. All the incubator babies have passed away, and Hamas did everything humanely possible to get fuel to them and was not able to. At the time of writing this post, there's only 3 premature babies that died, but as far as I've heard, it's all of them at this point. And dozens of other ICU patients too. They also bombed the maternity room in that same hospital, said it wasn't them. The New York Times confirmed it was an Israeli shot. Okay, so again, here, they directly lied to you, and then a few hours, a few days, sometimes a few minutes or seconds later, you find out it's complete propaganda, and they just move on to the next lie. And I just don't know how. I really want to get through to the Christians who are watching this. Like, I don't know how you could support this. I really just don't. Like, it goes so against everything that Jesus Christ stood for that, like, it's mind-boggling that anyone could support this. Anyways, we're going to move on. I spent a little bit too much time on this. Next is they showed a fake video of a nurse in a hospital in Gaza saying Hamas is not letting them leave. It was later uncovered that the one was an Israeli actor. Video was proven to be staged. Yeah, they didn't even try to cover her up properly. On top of that, she wasn't able to, I have a number of Arabic friends. She wasn't able to pronounce Arabic with an Arabic accent. And so, like, it was super obvious to anyone who spoke Arabic that she was speaking with a Hebrew accent. Like, the level of propaganda coming out of Israel, this is their best, and it's terrible. I don't know how for decades people have been able to believe this garbage. They said they helped a 79-year-old man get safe passage. His family confirmed he was shot with 2 bullets in the back by a sniper and killed. Okay, yeah, I saw the picture of him. He was disabled in the fleeing. He got left behind in the chaos. And the Israeli military took some propaganda pics with him saying that they were helping him. And then he was found dead in a ditch later. Genocidal psychopaths. That's all I can say about Israel. And remember, this is not the Israel of the Bible. This is the fake Israel. It's the Antichrist version of Israel. 5, they said they targeted a car with terrorists in Lebanon and had 3 little girls and their mom and their grandmother. Only the mother survived. That's horrific that all these people died and the parent has to live throughout. I I'm not gonna get into some of these other ones. I think that's a good stopping point for this video. So let's see what else this is. Okay, so, and there are so many more examples. Either they're the most incompetent propagandists in history, or they're producing stuff for an audience they know is ignorant enough to drink the Kool-Aid time and time again. Yeah, I guess that's a good ending point. So, okay, so I said this before, they're so used to controlling the entire media propaganda apparatus that they just don't know how to give you quality propaganda that is difficult to refute. And so I think it's both. Here, they are extremely incompetent propagandists, but they know that their audience has been so captured, whether they're watching MSNBC or Fox News, they know their audience has been so captured for so many decades, and they're so invested in this narrative, this frame of mind, that they're not going to change their opinion at this point. And that's something else to consider is far more older people believe in Zionism than the younger people. And it's not because the elderly are wiser, as you can clearly see from this garbage propaganda. No, it's because of the fact that they've spent decades of their lives. I know a ton of Zionists. They spent decades of their lives believing this garbage. This has been their worldview. Everything they thought, all information in their life has been put into this algorithm, this Zionist algorithm, and it's spewed out how they have to act, how they have to think in the world. And for them, it would mean their entire life was a lie. And they don't want that to happen. And so for them, they are imbibing this propaganda and they don't want it to be refuted. So they're not looking for alternative sources. They're not watching this channel, unfortunately. And so, yeah, they know their audience is ignorant enough to believe this garbage. And they are ignorant enough because there's that sunk cost fallacy. They've invested too much time and effort, too many decades, to believe anything else, even if it's overtly ridiculous what Israel is saying. So that's what I'll leave you with. I thought this was a good video, so just pat myself on the back. I really love talking about this stuff. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. It helps us in the algorithm. Please subscribe to our channel on YouTube and Rumble for more content. Please leave us a comment in the comment box. We've had some really great comments recently. Since the algorithmic suppression of our channel a few months ago when I started talking about Zionism, we've had fewer people in the comment section, but the quality of the comments is just top notch. So just thank you for all the comments that you've been giving. I've loved to interact with people. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.